Actual intro.
Oh, God, I'm talking to myself today.
Already the show is a fail.
Yeah, and here we go.
Hello and welcome back to the 4-ish Horsemen O'Clock.
For the second time.
The correct time.
For all of you awesome people, you got to see the intro twice.
Chris has a headache.
I have a headache.
He's not doing well. Not that that's any different for this
I
show.
wish there was some bourbon in here.
Suburban?
I wish there was just some bourbon in here. That would hurt.
We're your hosts. I'm George.
And we're not muted. Okay, good.
That's Chris. Chris, all right, it's time for you to get off the show.
Move.
Switch. Lean that way so your head's not in this freaking shot.
Well, that's the fun part.
All right, so nope.
Oh, come on! Okay.
Nope.
Is that why you're screaming?
Yeah, it helps my headache.
I got such a headache.
Cheers to all of you for picking up the
All in.
or just a regular old horse,
Yeah.
whichever one.
Whatever.
Horseman, a headless horseman.
Headless horse, man.
Chris, would you like to, before you go leaning that way for the whole time, would you like to tell them where their boxes are? I know you like to do that update every week. Chris tells you where your boxes are.
Boxes are out there. There's a bunch of guys out there making boxes, and
You covered the window?
I don't want to. I don't
Actually,
want watching
that
me.
was actually smart. You should actually probably leave the room. You're one too many people in here.
I have 3 too many people here.
That is smart. There's people packing all of your boxes right now,
Yes.
off camera to this way.
Yes.
And if Chris didn't cover this, it would definitely distract him, even though he's not on the episode. Welcome to the most fun episode of 4 Horsemen-ish O'Clock. What's the name of the show?
You
4-ish Horsemen
You
O'Clock.
must hate this episode.
I do. I've already talked way too much for
He's
my
seething
liking.
with anger.
This is the Mr. Beast episode. Thank you for getting this mug.
It's like Mob East.
I'm stoked. The mug came out great.
Oh, dude, that orange pops so nice on the
Yeah, it
black.
looks really good. It's only a little crooked, but
Is
whatever. It might just be this one.
Is it?
It's fine.
Looks fine to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
also got a headache. I don't
Just hold
know.
your mug like this.
Yeah. What's your go-to bourbon, Chris? Water.
Suburban.
Water.
You kidding me? If this guy drank, we'd be in
Alcoholics.
trouble.
Oh, I remember those college days.
So, about 6 episodes ago,
What?
maybe 8, we promised you a look at miniatures.
Can we end the show?
Get out of here. If you're not going to be on, don't be on. So, I'd like to, with that, I'd like to welcome to the show Cameron Smith.
What?
Cameron, everybody.
I thought you said next week.
Wait,
no.
did you bring them in?
I did bring the minis and the.
They're so small you can't see them.
Oh.
Should I move that camera just a tick?
Probably, so that you're not on it and the person who's talking is. That would be great. It doesn't matter if the background goes off.
Yeah, I don't care about the background.
All right.
So there's the
How are you going to show those?
distant, difficult
What?
way to see.
Here they be.
Look at all the
Details.
Well, before we get in, I mean, we don't need to show them up close quite yet, but no, let's keep them here because I mean, unless they're going to fall over, they probably will. But
Yeah,
this
that's
guy.
good. Sure.
That way it looks easier. Yeah, this is a bunch of us here at the studio are very into miniatures. Mostly Cameron, I would say, out of everyone, the most. I like to buy a lot of miniatures and never do anything with them. So that's the exact opposite of you, where you actually put them together and paint them and play with them. I buy them and put them in a box. That's usually, get out of here. Lean more.
I can't. I
that
gotta
way.
look at the thing.
So Cameron here has taken it upon himself to try and push us further into actually making miniatures. We've gotten as far as making a couple. you would say?
Yeah, it was
For fun here in the studio?
last November, I think. I was talking to Bill, and he took some of the files, the digital files that we use for the actual Mythic Legions pieces, and just shrunk them down, and or printed them out in about 1/5 the scale they're usually in, so it's about a 28 millimeter scale. And we just, as you saw, made 4 or 5 of them, and just quickly painted some up as a proof of concept.
I like that this is your quick paint. This is better than anything I've ever painted in my life. And you're like, yeah, I did this in 5 minutes.
I sneezed this out.
Yeah, like, I'm just nothing. I mean, which is why none of my miniatures are painted. Because if I tried to attempt this, it would just be horrific. So why don't you pull up a picture? Let's look at something real quick while we're talking about it. But yeah, we don't know what's happening with these right now. Currently nothing. We all would love to have a full line of miniatures, I think, around here, because personally, these fit better on your shelf.
Yeah, I can display a lot more miniatures at once than Mythic Legions, but
Imagine the display of in-packaged miniatures that we could put on the wall. It would be wonderful. But yeah, no, I love a minifigure. I love small, tiny figures. Even that, you can hardly tell how great it is. Like, can you zoom in on that picture? Hey, you on the side with the headache. I wish they could see it in 3D. We should show these somewhere. Like, I know some of you have maybe seen them at PAX when we were there.
Mm-hmm. I think we'll bring them to Legions Con.
Just to kind of show them on display.
Sure. I
Yeah,
mean, it was done as a proof of concept, and wanted to get some feedback from folks and see what they thought. I mean, it seems to me that there's kind of a already built-in crossover between Mythic Legions and stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, or just other role-playing games that use the 28 mil miniatures.
And I mean, most of the guys out there that are guys and girls who are buying these figures, a lot of them are customizing them anyway and painting on them and stuff. So I think a lot of them have that built into them already, that want to paint, that want to build. And I mean, for me, an unpainted, I would still buy them because I think they're awesome. But again, I would never paint a single one. I know I wouldn't. But yeah, it's just amazing to see the work and the level of like detail you've gotten on these tiny figures. Like, and you're looking at it on your screen right now, maybe on your phone. It's probably 1-to-1 on your phone if you're watching on your phone. But like, if you're looking at it on your computer screen, it looks like this giant thing. But they're literally like, I mean, you see this thing in my hand. This is the biggest one on the desk. Maybe grab the girl or grab the.
Yeah, this is actually
Stop it.
the Artemis 2.
Like,
that was the files for Artemis 2 just reduced and posed a little bit to be printed out as a single piece.
I mean, look at the size of this thing. You can't. You can't even look. But like, yeah, it's insane. And like the level of detail you've gotten into the painting on this. Can they see me at all or no? It's just that thing.
I just took you off.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have to take my glasses off to even see it.
There were some issues that we get when we just reduce the files. Like, for instance, if we were to produce something like this in this scale, we'd have to go in and say, thicken up pieces like the sword blade and the dagger blade, because when you reduce them down that small, even though it's
like
still
paper.
In scale, it's just too small. So like you can really see on the Centaur, that's literally just the trident scaled down. But if you look at it in this scale, it's thin as a hair.
Yeah.
We go in and thicken that up and make it beefier so that it doesn't immediately break.
What does that look like on normal miniatures out in the world? Like produced miniatures, do they do that? Do they have thicker weapons and things like that?
Yeah, they're a bit thicker just because of the scale. It still reads right to the eye. Like you could make this spear, half 3 times as thick as it is now, and it would still visually look right in this scale. It would be a lot more sturdy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think this is something that, I mean, as a company, we all love, and hopefully one day can get to making for you guys out there. If it's something you guys like, make your voices heard. Let us know. Tell us that you like these kind of things. That might put a little fire under people that might want to make more of this kind of stuff. But yeah, I think you've done a wonderful job. And I mean, Cameron paints the large figures as well, or paints the normal size figures as well. So like he knows the colors, but to be able to translate it down to this and still look amazing is just done a fantastic job.
Well, thanks. But when people see these, or even if they don't look at these, they'll come up to me at shows and I'm like, this is cool, this is customizable, cool. How do I make my D&D character? So
Yeah.
I would love to be able to say, oh, here's
your D&D character.
Yeah. or like the possibilities for like, folks who like to collect, I want a dozen skeletons or 2 dozen or 4 dozen, being able to get a whole army of skeletons in scale like this or something would be, I think, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would be pretty awesome. Although it is cool to see 2 dozen of the giant ones together.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
full size figures together
Yeah.
too. Chris, do you have anything to say for yourself over there?
No.
Do you want to add anything to this show?
No.
Yeah, he sucks. It can show the folks a close up of the Centaur, because if you notice the Centaur, it'll actually show pieces that haven't made it into the main Mythic line yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's stuff on that Centaur that.
Hidden things.
Yep.
Picture? Do you know what a centaur is?
Efarius. Anything of that's got Efarius in it, but if you look at them, you'll see it's not the same as the Mythic Legions Efarius.
Man, look at that. I don't know what to say. I don't know what's different because I don't know what a Farius looks like.
I can tell you, but that feels like cheating.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure the folks in the chat who are watching it are picking up on it. And
Someone
next to their
in the know will know.
Yeah.
You suck, George.
I'm not in the know. I'm in the know, just the NO.
Just the end.
Somebody said, does the Centaur have a helmet?
He does. Well, on the miniature, it's a new head.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The large Efarius has a bear head, and the
It's got a
miniature
bear
has
head? It's a bear
Yeah.
centaur?
bear head. It is.
Wow,
I
a
knew
bear
that was-
centaur.
I knew that was coming.
But yeah, he's got a helmet
George
on
sucks.
on the miniature.
This is, these are amazing. The photos don't even do it justice. You got to come to Legion's Con. What is that, November 5th?
5-6.
5-6.
5-6, yeah.
No, it's 11-6.
Shut up. Cameron,
November 5th and 6th.
how hard is it to paint these that small?
That's what I started with. Like when I was 11 years old, I started getting metal miniatures for D&D and gaming, and that's what I've been doing that for over 40 years. So this is like normal default scale for me.
I don't know who that is. There's a Chris G in the chat. I don't agree with this at all. That's not me.
That's the good Chris.
Hey!
Whoever's watching, that's Chris G. That's the good Chris G.
Damn it.
Yeah, but I'd be interested in hearing what people, if they're interested in this scale, what they would use it for. Would you use it to represent your character or monsters in a role-playing game with someone who want to build an army of stuff like orcs or skeletons for something like a Warhammer or tabletop battle game or a skirmish game? What types of things are people into? What do they want to see?
Yeah,
From Mythic Legions in this scale?
would you be looking for us to develop a game for you to play, or do you need characters for your games you already play and want to use them in that? That's a good
Yeah.
Now what are you laughing at? The good Chris. Yeah, I was looking at the George Hates Fun shirts
Best shirt ever.
over at Retro Rags Limited.
Retro
They're easy to look at because people around here are wearing them now.
No fun. Yeah, and I saw that they spelled Chris F-U-N.
I
don't know why they did that,
Usually you just leave the N on.
I thought,
There you go.
I thought that they were, they totally spelled Chris wrong.
Everybody go to retroracelimited.com /no fun. It's our best-selling shirt to date. Everyone has to. You think I'm kidding? Everyone has to. Think I'm kidding?
I think you're going to be like,
Best-selling shirt. You better wear it at Legion's Con.
Yeah,
if you
you're
don't wear it
gonna
at
be
Legion's
amazed.
Con, don't come in.
amazed and dismayed how many you see at Legion School.
It's ridiculous. You guys are insane.
Just
and
remember, if you buy the shirt and wear it to a 4 Horsemen appearance where George is at, he will take a picture with you and show you the secret George hates fun handshake. Spoiler alert, there is no secret handshake because that would be fun. So George shot that down. So no special handshake, but he'll take a photo with you and he will not be smiling at you.
True. I will purposely not smile in your photograph. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say about miniatures? What else do you want to talk about miniatures?
I mean, I can talk about miniatures for hours, but that's
We don't have
not
hours.
germane to the show.
Well, why
No.
don't you give
So-
these fine folks a little bit more explanation how you have to change your painting methods from large, one-to-one stuff versus these minis? What do you have
Does
to
it
do differently?
change? I mean, you're still
No, it's honestly
Smaller
it's pretty
brushes?
much the same. I use the same brushes for detail work and everything.
Do you use
And again,
magnifying glasses?
I never used to. As I'm getting older, now I have.
They need to.
Yeah, I got the cheaters. I can't paint without these, and I do have a headset that's got like a big set of magnifiers on it, so I can do the fine detail stuff.
Yeah.
That's just I never used that when I was younger, but now I'm not younger.
not younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I use magnifiers now.
I use them when I'm sculpting sometimes, just when I do minifigures and stuff like that, just getting in there. The crazy thing is it's what's awesome about digital sculpting is like I would never be able to do those braids that are down the back of the school, like the girl's hair. Like it would never it would take me. It would just be it would be so hard to do to get the amount of that tiny ass little braid. And it's crazy because miniatures back in the old days all were hand sculpted. They were all
A lot of them are still hand sculpted, but you go with the bigger companies, and they use a lot of digital sculpts for especially for plastic miniatures. But the smaller companies, which are still a ton of out there, still doing great work. A lot of the sculptors use the 2-part epoxy putty, the green stuff,
the green.
and they're sculpting it in that scale, 1-to-1 scale, and just casting them from the original sculpts.
Here's a good picture.
And they do.
Show
Show it next to the figure. That'll help you understand right there.
Baron Volgar could.
The head's basically the size of a rivet.
That troll.
You're basically painting all the detail inside of a rivet of a normal figure. I mean these are great. You did a phenomenal job on this stuff, and I mean the fact that we even printed it and it came out that decent,
Yeah.
on our print that we use for regular figures, that says something about those printers too.
Yeah, they can handle a tremendous amount of detail, and I mean you see it when you look at the regular Mythic Legions figures, but the fact that it maintains that crispness at this scale is impressive.
It's pretty cool. All right, well, I think without Chris causing shenanigans, we got through this in a relatively easy amount of time.
Record-breaking episode.
A record-breaking
Yeah.
episode. I think that's because we didn't have nonsense happening for the 30 minutes that we normally have.
That's why these people are sleeping.
If anyone had to,
It's like an NPR bit or something.
I know we got through it. It's nice.
10-10 wins.
We don't have to.
Give us 10 minutes, we'll give you miniatures of the world.
Unless there's any questions that anyone has specifically about this kind of stuff,
Can we end the show?
can we have a show? Your stuff is shipping. Don't try and change any addresses. It's too late, and you should have bought it with the right address. I mean, it was an in-stock item. If you bought it with the wrong address, you're kind of that's on you at this point.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Like if you didn't know within an hour that you were going to move, then that's on you.
So
Yeah, I'm moving later today, but I'm going to buy this right now. That's on you. I'm sorry. Pay for your own mistake.
So yes, your quick update is we're currently working on the Horseman shipment, and we sent out a whole bunch of Deluxe Legion Builder all-ins on Monday, a whole bunch of Horsemen, singles.
You don't wonder where Chris's hand is.
Anything is distracting, Chris.
And what else? Lithia should be all done. If you haven't received your Lithia, send an email.
Just
We're
wait.
getting, there's a couple of orders that are going out, but what else? I don't know. All ends to be going out, and
New people have been brought in to help ship your things. So
Dude,
it is going out as fast as possible.
I think we tripled the number of people we have
We
working
definitely
on
did.
shipping at the moment, so that this stuff, but there is a lot.
I had to weave my way between pallets on the way out for lunch today. There's so much stuff on the dock.
It's insane.
It's all going out super quick. You'll get it soon.
Don't bother us. Don't email asking where it is, because I'm gonna delete your email.
It's on the way. No, he's not. He loves all your emails. Keep sending them. Keep
I feel like
sending
I'm
them.
Bill
Keep
now.
sending them. Just keep sending all the emails to Chris. He loves them. He loves looking up orders.
Remember, George
Loves
has
looking up orders.
That's Joe's job now.
Let's end this thing then.
God,
That's
please, can we end it?
So next week we'll have Cameron on to talk about Oh no, shit! We can stop saying that.
We're gonna bump him again.
I know. You're lucky you didn't get bumped. You actually you're better than Matt Damon. You didn't get bumped.
Didn't
every
get
time.
bumped.
I'm
Finally made it
gonna
on.
end it on the perfect comment.
A miniature length episode.
And that's it. End of the episode. Bye.
Get out of here.